Welcome everybody, Star Flag Media Gaming. 2 weeks in a row, Chris is here.
Ba-ba-da-da.
Oh my God. Chris. I've got a couple of topics that I want to go over. Guys, check us out on our new channel. It's called Beta Blockers. And you're going to enjoy those shows that are coming soon. I'll put the link in the description down below. Check us out, Beta Blockers.
Don't be a baby.
Don't be a beta. Chris, but for gaming news, here's what we want to talk about today. The first topic, and Nintendo is suing a streamer who played pirated Switch games on Twitch. Not only did he play the pirated Switch games, he showed people how to pirate the games and where to go to get the ROMs.
Yeah, he's wilding. But yo, listen. Everybody want to be internet famous and doing things for clout and doing things for attention. So this is brand new news to me. I haven't heard of it. I'm sure you might know more of the details, but to me, this sounds very clout chasey, like he did this on purpose and he was daring them.
Here's the thing. He's got a big following too. Like, this guy's not a small streamer.
Yeah.
It's Every Game Guru. And this is back in September of 2025. I'm gonna give you a little bit of details, and then you give me your thoughts. So Nintendo was seeking $150,000 per infringement of its copyright, and when Nintendo's saying that Every Game Guru streamed pirated content on at least 50 occasions in the last 2 years, that would mean that he would owe Nintendo $7.5 million. And then here's a couple of updates for you. This is back in September. So here's a couple of updates. Nintendo has said that the streamer continues to taunt their legal team and is purposefully avoiding them being served with the documents. So Nintendo has made 5 attempts to serve the streamer to stop, and to no avail. And they're now suggesting serving his partner, mother, or grandmother in court. Next update. Nintendo then started seeking injunction and default judgment since it was impossible to reach Every Game Guru, saying that the streaming has now evaded service and failed to respond. And Nintendo was looking to get an award of $10,000 for infringement of Paper Mario: The Thousand Years Doors. And then the last update came as of the 5th, and it says the man mentioned above has now agreed to pay Nintendo $2 million after being sued. He is also banned from possessing mod chips, flash carts, and anything similar, and Nintendo will seize any of those items currently in his possession along with his personal website.
Wow.
Your thoughts.
All right. So at first, I'm still with he was trolling them. Now, when he couldn't get caught and couldn't get served, I was kind of rooting for him. My whole demeanor changed. All right. You can't sue me if you can't serve me.
Can't catch me if you can.
Yeah, so I was kind of rooting for him. That's all right.
Sounds really cool.
And then it sounds like he got caught. And then
it sounds like once they started bringing his grandma, and they were like, if we can't serve you, we're going to serve your grandma.
Yeah, your partner, huh? She put the money up. Wow.
Oh, she's related to you.
Oh yeah, we gonna sue them. Yeah, well, that's crazy. But yeah, man, Nintendo don't miss. They don't miss.
When it comes to piracy or their intellectual property, one company you don't want to mess with, they've shown you time and time again, even when it's emulation, which is on the gray scale of legality, they don't play with that shit. You cannot take a Mario or Zelda game, emulate it, put it on your Twitch stream, and then tell people how to go get that.
You want to play games? Play Nintendo, but don't play Nintendo.
It's the classic game. It's the classic case of F around and find out.
Yes.
It's the classic case of F around and find out.
He
All right, something I just thought that was an interesting thing because I've been following that case for a little bit, since it started in September and of last year, and here we are a year later, and now it's kind of like, okay, everybody that was laughing at Nintendo and like, oh, he's gonna get away with it because he can't be served. It turns out, yeah, $2 million. Um, Next thing, Star Wars Outlaws is out now on the Switch 2. This is widely considered Nintendo Switch 2's first impossible port. Why? Because the game is heavily reliant on ray tracing, which we all know the Switch 2 can't do, right? Turns out wrong. Turns out wrong. Ubisoft has absolutely managed to get Star Wars Outlaws running on Switch 2. They cut the frame rate in half, so you're going to get 30 frames per second. But it is absolutely top to bottom filled with ray tracing. Digital Foundry did its analysis, and even they, who have been trying to pigeonhole the Switch 2 as a PlayStation 4 portable, said this thing is doing visuals that the Series S can't do. The ray tracing is there. The shadows are there. There's actually moments in the video that Digital Foundry did that show off things that the Series S doesn't have, and that the Switch 2 is actually closer to the ps5 base model. So here's a little thing. So this comes from our friends over at Go Nintendo. Cyberpunk 2077 was an already impressive Switch 2 port. But according to Digital Foundry, Ubisoft's Red Links and Ubisoft's Massive take things a step forward with a hugely impressive port of Star Wars Outlaws for Switch 2. Hardware accelerated, ray tracing, DLSS, high output resolutions, solid performance. All this leads to Digital Foundry saying that this is the most impressive demonstration of Switch 2 technology that we have seen yet. And this is only 2 months. 2 months into the Switch 2. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I always thought the Switch 2 was going to do well once they put up, when they like announced it and they did the game comparisons. I thought it was going to do well. They got the DLS, the AI upscaling. So
yeah, that's a miracle.
Yeah. I don't think maybe it is a miracle. I don't know.
The type of tech. So we can, anybody that's been watching the channel, the couple dozen of you who've really stuck with us, thank you guys, appreciate you. The couple dozen of you who have really stuck with us every week, week in and week out. You guys can go back, and my predictions were always that it was going to be in the Series S kind of power scale for the Switch 2, but that AI stuff
is jumping it up.
Yeah, I was never accounting for any of that.
Like, I was hoping that the AI was going to be good enough to bring it to this gen, and it looks like
it has. Yeah, and then some. So the fact that it's copying PS5 base in a lot of areas, not in all areas. There's some areas where it actually dips below. Even like there's like certain areas in the open world where it pops up. A lot of things pop up as you're riding through. Yeah, when you're riding through in like high speeds, you're gonna see a lot of pop up, which you don't see on the other consoles. But if anybody in our generation of gamers have grown up with N64, PS1, Dreamcast, GameCube, pop-ups to us is like, all right, that's something we can live with. The fact that it's outperforming certain areas of the Series S, to me, that's a little bit mind-blowing. I wasn't expecting that. Now, as a game, Star Wars Outlaws is generally considered like a C+ game or like a B game. It's not an A tier game. But the technical aspects of it are A tier. It's a AAA game. And one of the things that I did on the Switch 1, I don't know if you remember, but maybe you do. It's something that we talked about a few times, is that I went out and bought games that I normally wouldn't buy on Switch 1 just to see how they run on Switch 1, like Doom Eternal, Witcher 3, The Outer Worlds. These are games that are Xbox Series games and PS5 Pro games. And I just wanted to see how the hell did they make them run on Switch. And I went out and bought these games. And to my surprise, holy crap, they ran fine. They looked good. In fact, in the last video that I posted of, you guys check it out, Xbox and PlayStation games on Switch, they looked really good, especially Doom Eternal, Wolfenstein, things like that. Yeah. Star Wars Outlaws is one of those games that I think on Switch 2 is kind of like, here's your benchmark. And if a company like Ubisoft that's not really known for like pushing the boundaries on any console, if they're the ones that are really, this is the first one that they're pushing this game on there, the sky's the limit for what Nintendo's first party developers could do with the console. What can they do with the system? It's gonna be, I think that's really impressive.
The next Zelda is gonna be crazy. I can only imagine how many characters and on-screen stuff they're gonna add to Smash Brothers if they make a new one.
Hopefully. Yeah, I mean that's impressive stuff that we're seeing here. And I'm a Star Wars fan. You're a Star Wars fan. This is a game that I could probably see myself, if I see a discount in the near future, I can see myself dropping a few bucks on this because having it portable, we both like to travel. It's an open world, huge game, and it's set in the Star Wars universe. And it's not a bad game. It's not the best game ever, but it's not a bad game. I think Ubisoft might get my money on this one.
Yeah, I think this game you play as a bounty hunter, right?
Yeah, you're a female. You're an outlaw. You're a bounty hunter. You're trying to make your way into the world. It's set in the Star Wars universe where the Jedi stuff is happening around you.
Yeah. So good. So Star Wars fans, man, go check that out and let us know what you think.
Let us know what you think about the Switch port. This game is already available on your PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series, but just to close this off, if you have a Steam Deck, this game does not run well on a Steam Deck. Period. Beta. It performed poorly. It performed poorly on Steam Deck, along with Cyberpunk. So this is another one of those games that shows like, hey, this DLSS AI GPU that Nintendo patented, it's probably doing a lot more than what we thought it could.
Yeah, I am curious to see what the next Steam Deck is going to be, or the next Steam machine, because this AI is, man. Listen, you got Grok, you got Chat GPT. AI is doing.
It's going crazy.
Things. It's doing
crazy.
Incredible things. So
it's got my father sending me videos of China with flying ambulances, thinking it's real.
Yeah, man. Yeah, China living in the future.
Going to the next subject here, we're gonna hit Nintendo for the first couple of subject matter here. This next one here is a little bit shedding light on the Switch 2 development kit. Last week we spoke about Nintendo not really wanting to give their development kits to everybody. They've been kind of selective as to who gets to put their stuff on the Switch 2. In fact, going as far as telling certain developers, if you want your game on Switch 2 that badly, just make a Switch 1 version and market it as backwards compatible with Switch 2.
Back then, they want me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. They choose it. Now it seems kind of arrogant, but
it does. But it's also to the point of the Switch 2 was a runaway success. The Wii was a runaway success. The Wii U was their failure in between. But it was also like, hey, do you not see that what we're capable of? Yeah. We can make blockbuster systems. Especially when it comes to anything handheld related. Nintendo is the king of that. The Game Boy, DS, GBA, DS, 3DS. Nobody has dethroned Nintendo in that space ever. But we get a little bit more of a clarity. Game Reactor had the chance to talk to various developers during Gamescom and to grill them about the Switch 2 development kit situation. And here's what they had to say. It's a couple bullet points. I know this is a little bit boring, but we're going to go through it because it's important. There is no formal or traditional application process yet to request development kits for Switch 2 the way there was with Switch 1. Unlike previous platforms, Nintendo the usual staged approval method is not in place. They are choosing firsthand who gets a dev kit and who doesn't. Current kit applications or allocations are done manually, one by one, based on a specific game, not on a studio's track record. I don't care that you're EA. I don't care that you're Ubisoft. I don't care that you're a giant. If you're an indie developer, there's an indie developer that made a campfire game that got a dev kit before some of Ubisoft's studios did. Why? Because they wanted to implement the mouse controls. Yeah. And for Nintendo, they were like, they're using one of the new features. They care about the system.
Yep.
This selection process appears to be arbitrary and subjective, influenced by internal interests from Nintendo and their own preferences. It's unclear. So basically, a developer is like, hey, we got this game. And Nintendo's like, we don't fucking want it.
They hate it. They hate it. When you can't have it, they get mad. Now you hate it.
Make it specific for us. Make something specific for our version.
Yeah. You want to? Yeah. I mean, it's the power dynamics.
Hey, we got gyro controls on our console, baked right into the box. We got mouse controls baked into the box. That campfire game that I was talking about had not only mouse control but also camera functions.
Yeah, I see.
And they were like, it sounds like a stupid indie game, and it is, but they were like,
you could join with your friends.
And
you
you can't have this experience elsewhere. Yes, exactly. And then finally, it says here, it's unclear whether this is due to a shortage of manufactured dev kits or a strategy to prioritize select partners and titles ahead of launch before the broader third-party competition intensifies. You know what? It reminds me a lot of... Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the days when the NES first came out. Now, we were children at that point in time. But before that, there was no quality control. Anybody and anybody could make for a game for Atari, Coleco, Master System. And what that led to was a lot of shitty games, a lot of bad games. And then Nintendo came in and said, hey, as a third-party developer, you're only allowed 5 games a year on the NES. Yeah. And what that made those third-party developers do is make sure that their best 5 games were going to be on NES. Now, Konami ended up making LJN and a couple of other like second-party studios so that they can get away with publishing more games. But that came later on. This was a quality control. They didn't want to have a ton of shit games on their system. And that's what it feels like now. It feels like you want a game on Switch 2. Switch 1 has a shit ton of bad games on the eShop.
Yeah.
We're going to control this. We're going to make sure that at least, I feel like the first year is going to be high quality third-party content.
Yeah. They don't want no shovelware just yet. And if you already worked with them before, you should be good. But if you just, if now you want to jump on a ticket and try to, try to
like your Electronic Arts, and you didn't fuck with the Switch that much.
Exactly.
You definitely didn't mess with the Wii U that much and the Wii. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, the last 20 years we got it wrong. Now we want Madden back on your system.
Yeah, it's like, no, go fuck yourself.
Well, your Madden better have something special for our system this year.
Yeah, make it work.
Make it work.
Same game every year. So take 30 minutes and add something new because that's what it's going to take, y'all.
Do something different. All right, so this one we're moving away from Nintendo now. This is a game that we both looked into briefly. I don't think you've played. I don't know. Maybe you have. But it is interesting. Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals is now coming to PlayStation 4 later this month.
That makes sense.
So Marvel Rivals is launching on PlayStation 4, and they haven't announced the Switch 2 version yet. So apparently there's enough players on PS4 in their live service games that Capcom or whoever, what is it, NetEase? Yeah, they developed this game, and they're like, you know what? PlayStation 4, the 12-year-old system that's out, we're gonna bring Marvel Rivals out. We're gonna bring a port out to that.
It's you know why? It's a live service game. So adding new players into the funnel is not going to do anything. It's not going to hurt it.
It's not gonna hurt it.
It's not going to
But
hurt it.
what it does, it for Sony is not great news. Sony kind of at this point they would like to move past the PS4, and this is a brand new game, which is gonna be taken care of in the next at least 5 years. Like this game is expected to stick around for a long time. It's got enough players. So that just extended the 12-year-old system into like being like a 16-year-old system, still supporting a live service game. Unless specifically like the player base drops off overnight. Sony has a big problem on their hands as far as their player base, where around 48 to 49% of their player base is still stuck on the old PS4 ecosystem. This is the type of stuff that they need to kind of like try to cut off so that those people that are still on PS4 eventually move to a PS5, or hell, in the next couple of years, we're already looking at PlayStation 6. So it's going to be, what are we doing?
All right.
Could you imagine being a PS3, like playing PS3 games, and then like somebody be like, yo, I got the PS1 version of GTA 5.
Yeah. I mean, so I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. I agree with you, right? But we are in a different age. We are in a new era. We are in the digital.
That's true.
Not even we passed the digital age. We are in the data age.
Mm-hmm.
So my thinking is for Sony to allow this game to go to the PS4, they probably looked at their metrics and seen what percentage of the PlayStation owner, PS5 owners are playing this game and how much they're spending on the cosmetics or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they're probably just like, it can run on the PS4. They're doing it. We're not doing nothing. Fuck it.
I'll take I'll take that 30%. We'll take the 30%. F it. Yeah, I look, the business from the business. I get it from the business point of view. It's a double-edged sword. It's like, yeah, we still have a huge chunk of our player base over there. We'll take the 30% cut. We don't care. It surprised me because if they're downporting this to a PS4, that means that there's a Switch version that probably will be around the corner and a Switch 2 version, because Overwatch was on Switch and that's a PS4, that generation. Apex Legends, that's from that generation. That's also on Switch. That means that this game could technically now be ported over to an 8-year-old hybrid system. It kind of blew my mind to see Marvel Rivals coming to PS4 later, but this generation is not.
We what is it? Data. It's just your data now. They don't want your.
This is the weirdest generation that we've ever been. Consoles are more expensive as they get older. It's speaking of, let's go to our next subject here. Sony. We all talked about the price increases for the Xbox. We talked about the price increases for the Switch that Nintendo announced on their 8-year-old system, and then Sony did the same thing and they price increased their system across the board for the PlayStation 5. But that's not all Sony did. So not only was there a price increase on the PS5 digital base model, right? It now comes
a hard drive.
It now comes with less memory.
Yeah.
For a higher price.
Yeah.
So for the higher price, instead of getting a 1 terabyte digital PlayStation 5, now you're getting an 825 gigabyte PlayStation 5. That's like the old adage of insult to injury.
Yeah. Should have bought it that long.
Do you know what it is to get a PS5 digital version?
No more. Fuck it.
Not even getting a 1 terabyte. Not even getting a terabyte. You're now getting 800. Like, listen. if we're gonna go this route, listen, me personally, if I was a gamer, right, and let's say I'm trying to get a budget entry into the PlayStation 5 ecosystem, and the cheapest console now is 825 gigabytes, but it costs the same as before or more. Sony, why don't you just make it a 500 gigabyte system and charge $50 less for it? And now it's a price drop. And yeah, I can live with having less memory. And if it's that big a deal, I can go to the store and buy an upgraded hard drive or whatever the case may be. That comes later on as an added cost. But as an entry point, give me a 500 gigabyte digital PS5 for $499. 50 bucks. 50 bucks. Huh?
What you said last week? So
what did I say?
Where you gonna go?
You got no choice. You got no choice. You got no choice. What are you gonna do? Do you want a PS5 or not?
Yeah. What you want to do? What you gonna do? That's what you said. What you gonna do?
You're right. What you gonna do? But also for the $50 difference, like you could just for $100 less now, you can get a brand new Switch too. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. You can be competitive and be like, hey, for only $50 more, you can get a digital PS5 that is better than a Switch 2 as far as all capabilities. And it's 500 gigabytes, which is also more than a Switch 2.
Yo, this is what Sony doing right now. Sony doing this.
Yeah.
Sony doing this. Oh, you want listen, hey. I've been selling like hotcakes. We 5 years in. We about to go on 6. You still ain't get one? Oh, but you want it now? All right. Guess what? Price to entry went up.
You're right. But that doesn't. But it also doesn't. It's a double, and it goes back to our last story. It's a double-edged sword. It makes people less likely to jump over from PlayStation 4 to PS5 because now they've already got a PS4 and they're still getting brand new games.
Sony wildin'.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. Speaking of wildin',
it's what these companies is doing. Nintendo doing the same thing.
Everybody's doing it.
They about money. It's about money. Shareholders, like they could price it lower, but apparently, I guess people still buying it for what the price is, and then they going down the next. Man, listen, I got mines. I got mines at retail price, and it's worth more now than what it was.
Listen, the secondhand market is your friend at this point. Don't go to stores. That's all I gotta say. With that said, we're jumping over to the Xbox. So, Xbox, we all know they canceled that Perfect Dark game that they showed off last a couple of years ago, and they showed off gameplay and all that. It was looking promising. So Xbox's canceled Perfect Dark game almost got a second chance. Take-Two offered Microsoft to publish and purchase the rights to Perfect Dark.
They would have had to release the game, though. That was
they were having what?
Was it Perfect Dark fraud? Like it was a mock-up that they presented for their state of play or state of X or whatever.
No, it was gameplay. But unfortunately, those talks have apparently fell through, at least in part to disagreements over the IP rights. So they wanted to take all the development that was done up to now, publish the game, but Take-Two wanted part ownership of the Perfect Dark franchise. But what this was going to create was one of those weird 007 GoldenEye moments where like Nintendo still owns parts of the rights.
Yeah.
And Rare owns parts of the rights, and Microsoft owns, and now EA owns parts of the rights. And it's going to be one of those weird moments, and Microsoft didn't want to have anything to do with that, so they decided to say, no, we're not going to give it a second breath of life. It's just canceled. So even Take-Two couldn't revive a game that was already pretty much done. Like, the game was almost done.
Perfect Dark Developer says eye-catching 2024 gameplay demo had some fakery, but quite a lot of it was legit.
Yeah, no, of course, but it was, for the most part, it was like a real demo. Now, the next PlayStation State of Play that just passed by was pretty much a James Bond showpiece. They showed off gameplay. It looks really cool. It's made by IO Interactive. It looks like a mix between Hitman, Splinter Cell, and what everybody already loves about the GoldenEye franchise. There's racing in it. It's a little bit of driver mix into it. It looks really good. Everybody who's like a frame rate whore was crapping on it online, saying like
gamers.
Yeah, exactly, the niche guys, right? They were like, oh, during the explosions, you could see the frame dropping and like the stuttering and all that. And like me, as like somebody who just likes playing games, I'm looking at all the cinematics and all the action, and I'm like, oh my god, this shit looks really cool. Like, this looks like a really cool showpiece. And again, this is all pre-release stuff, so of course they can patch it and get the performance back up to whatever. But for me personally, I'm not a frame rate person. Like, I can play a game at 30 frames per second unless it's online. Like, if you're playing online as a shooter game, you want to have the highest frame rate, obviously, to be competitive. You don't want to play at 30 frames versus somebody who has 60. But, like, single player experience?
Yeah, single player experience is yeah.
That looked cool to me. That looked cool to me.
I would like 60. 30 is fine, I guess.
Yeah, 30 is fine, but
they it's always those same people who cry about frame rate, who don't actually, I don't swear they don't actually play games.
Yeah.
And here's my hot take. I think those PC players who cry about frame rate, they're crying out loud because they secretly don't have a PC that could run it at that frame rate.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you're one of those people anyway, you're probably not going to be playing it on a console anyway.
They wait for it to come out. Oh my god, man! Yo,
yeah, those people that are bitching about frame rates are probably going to be the PC gamer anyway. That's how I feel anyway. But either way, one of the biggest guys, go watch the latest video of PlayStation games that are on Nintendo hardware, and Xbox games that are on Nintendo hardware. But speaking of games from one company to another that are on other hardware, Gears of War Reloaded dropped on the PlayStation. And it's got to be one of the weirdest things ever. According to Kotaku, they said playing the game on the PlayStation 5 was already weird enough, but they said loading up Gears of War Reloaded on PS5 was strange enough to begin with. But then I hopped into the game and linked up my Xbox account and saw that my Xbox profile picture appeared in the game menu instead of my PlayStation profile. And they were like, then I started playing, and Gears of War prompted me to hit triangle to look at something instead of the Y button. And once I got into a firefight, I was told to smash the R1 button, and then I hit it again, and the right time to reload. I did as I was told. I made a weird face, thinking, what am I doing? And then even Sony acknowledges how odd this all is via a tweet, with Marcus reloading with the comment saying, press R1 to active reload. Even they don't understand what's going on. It's we're living in weird times, my friends.
Yeah, it's
the crown jewels of Sony, the crown jewels of Xbox are now playable on everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a weird time to live.
Yeah.
Listen,
I never liked Gears.
So to call me a fanboy of anything in particular is Good on you. The only thing you got absolutely tear down on me and Chris for, even if we're not the most hardcore Nintendo diehards, we have owned every Nintendo system pretty
Yeah.
much. Pretty
Yep.
much. And there's one, and the reason is exclusivities. There's just certain games you can't play anywhere else. If you want to play these games, you gotta get them on Nintendo system. And go watch the other video I've got, how Nintendo won the console wars.
Yes.
It's all available on this
Pokemon,
channel. It's all available right here.
Pokemon, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart are system sellers for me.
Zelda, Metroid Prime. I mean, yeah, for you. Okay, got it. But let me tell you, there's a lot of gamers out there who bought games for the first time during the pandemic, and when that next Animal Crossing hits,
Oh yeah. Oh, Animal Crossing will be it.
when that next Animal Crossing hits on Switch 2, get ready for some record-breaking sales.
They're gonna have ray tracing when you go fishing.
They don't even need it. It's gonna be all they need to make it a 24 frame per second Animal Crossing. It's gonna sell like hotcakes.
You're gonna pull up a boot. You're gonna pull up a boot, and the boot gonna be reflected in the water. And you're gonna be like,
I'm one of those guys. Like, I have bought in America every Animal Crossing that's been out. GameCube, Wii U, Switch. I'm on board. I even had the 3DS version and the DS version. Like, I bought every single Animal Crossing that's ever come out. The only one I haven't played is the free mobile versions. Anyway, we're getting off track. Want to wrap up the show. Anything that you want to say before we go?
Battlefield looking good.
I still won't play it.
Good.
I gotta wait because Battlefield. It's just that game. I feel like it's gonna be a 90-day hot game, and then everybody will forget it, like Helldivers.
After the 90 days, they're gonna announce or drop the battle royale.
And everybody will be right back to Warzone.
No, I don't think so this time, bro.
Warzone. You're gonna see. Oh, this is a good prediction. So you don't think so? So it is September 6th, 2025. Battlefield 6. What's your prediction?
All right. So I'm not predicting that Battlefield is gonna outsell Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, that's easy.
But my prediction is a lot of these upset Call of Duty players are going to. All right, my prediction is Battlefield game is going to have a higher number of players, while this Call of Duty game is going to be, it's still going to be high, but it's going to be the lower than normal. It's going to be, Battlefield's going to go up. COD's going to go down a little bit. It's going to go down. And
how many copies do you think will, okay, so there's two ways we can go about this. How many copies of Battlefield 6 do you think are going to sell? Or how many players at its peak will be online on Battlefield?
I don't know nothing about Battlefield to say players and copies and all that type of stuff. I just know that Black Ops 7 is getting a lot of hate.
That's true.
It's getting
very true. Very true.
It's not getting love. I think Battlefield just showed off the weapon skins that you could get for your gun, and they look army-like and army-ish. And it's like they just like, oh yeah, you want the rainbow rocket over there? Well, look at us. We got Red Tiger. Red Tiger. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that Red Tiger. That
shit. We are here to wait and see. I can't wait for you guys to tell us in the comments, what do you guys think will sell more, or who will have the higher player count?
COD's gonna sell more. This is gonna
yeah. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying for our audience to leave us a comment. Leave us a comment. What do you guys think? Is Battlefield finally gonna overtake Call of Duty release,
No.
but let us know what you guys think in the comments. Which one is going to sell more, or which one's going to have the higher player count when the Battle Royale for Battlefield comes out versus Warzone? Or who's going to sell more, Chris? We don't know. Leave your comment down below. Let us know. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Let us know what you guys think. And we want to thank you guys, as always, for the couple of dozen of you guys who watched the podcast and the thousands of you who watched the other videos. Hey, join us here on the podcast. As always, we want to thank you guys for joining us here, and we want to catch you guys in the next video.